9 out of 10 people who get framed never find the one piece of evidence that saves them. I was that person. Police at my door, her tears already falling before they knocked. And I thought she was scared for me. She wasn't. Ava had been crying about her own secret the entire time. And one camera she forgot about recorded everything. In the next 10 minutes, you'll see the exact 3 moments that exposed her lie completely. My name is Ethan Cole. I was 32 years old when I lost my career, my reputation, and almost my sense of reality in less than 48 hours. And the worst part is, the person who destroyed my life already knew exactly how I would react before she even started. Because she knew me better than anyone. Ava and I worked together at Blackthorn Capital, a private investment firm in downtown Chicago. Long hours, quiet competition, expensive people pretending stress was sophistication. She joined the company 2 years after I did. Smart, controlled, impossible to read completely. Most people noticed how beautiful she was first. I noticed how careful she was. Ava never wasted words, never over-explained herself. She listened more than she spoke, which made people trust her faster than they should have. Including me, especially me. Our relationship happened slowly enough to feel real. Late nights at the office became dinners. Dinners became weekends together. Weekends became toothbrushes in each other's apartments and conversations about future plans neither of us admitted were serious. For almost a year, I thought I knew her. Then the money disappeared. $3.8 million. Gone from a client escrow account overnight. At first, nobody panicked publicly. Firms like Blackthorn survive on appearance. People were pulled into conference rooms quietly. Internal audits started immediately. Executives stopped smiling in hallways. Then the investigators came. I still remember the exact feeling when they asked for my laptop. Not fear, confusion. Because confusion comes first when you know you're innocent. You keep waiting for the misunderstanding to correct itself. It doesn't. By noon, my building access had been suspended. By evening, HR wouldn't return my calls. And by midnight, someone leaked my name online. The comments came fast. Another finance parasite. Knew a guy like him in college. People like this never act alone. It's strange how quickly strangers become certain about who you are. But the worst part wasn't the internet. It was watching people I knew start avoiding eye contact. Coworkers stopped texting me back. Friends suddenly became busy. Even my younger brother called and asked the question he tried very hard not to ask directly. Ethan, did you do something stupid? That sentence stayed with me longer than the accusations. Not because he believed I was guilty, because part of him thought it was possible. And honestly, that's how framing works. It doesn't need everyone convinced, just uncertain. Ava stayed beside me through all of it. That's what made her brilliant. Every morning she called to check on me. Every evening she came over with food I barely touched. When investigators froze my accounts temporarily, she paid for groceries without making me feel ashamed. She held me while I fell apart. And slowly, I became dependent on her emotionally at the exact moment she was destroying me privately. Looking back now, that's the part that still makes me sick. Not the betrayal, the precision. About 3 weeks into the investigation, the police finally showed me the evidence. Security footage from the financial records room. Time stamped 11:43 p.m. Me entering alone. Me leaving 20 minutes later. Then, 2 hours later, the transfer requests were executed remotely using my credentials. I remember staring at the screen so long my eyes started hurting. Because it was me. Same height, same coat, same walk. For one horrible second, I actually questioned my own memory. That's what sustained pressure does. It weakens your confidence in yourself before anything else. I didn't do this, I said quietly. The detective across from me barely reacted. They never do. I know how that sounds, I continued. No answer, just typing. That silence broke something inside me more effectively than yelling ever could. The next month felt less like living and more like being slowly erased. My neighbors stopped speaking to me. My landlord suddenly wanted updated paperwork. Someone scratched thief across my car door. And through all of it, Ava remained perfect, supportive, patient, loyal. Sometimes I would wake up at 3 a.m. and find her sitting awake beside me in bed, gently rubbing my back while I spiraled into panic attacks I'd never had before in my life. "You're going to get through this," she'd whisper. Now I realize something horrifying about that sentence. She never once said I was innocent. Then came the detail that changed everything. Not a dramatic revelation. Not some genius detective moment. Just exhaustion. I was replaying the security footage alone on my laptop for maybe the 100th time when something small caught my attention. The reflection on the glass door. The footage showed me entering records at 11:43 p.m., but reflected faintly in the hallway glass behind me was a cleaning cart. That shouldn't have mattered. Except I remembered complaining weeks earlier because night maintenance stopped using carts after 10 p.m. due to noise complaints from executives working late. I know that sounds insignificant, but when your life is collapsing, tiny inconsistencies become oxygen. The next morning, I went back to Blackthorn for the first time since my suspension. Not through the front, through parking maintenance. I still had an old contact there named Luis. He looked uncomfortable the second he saw me. "Ethan, this is a bad idea. I just need information. I can't help you." But guilt makes people softer than loyalty does. Eventually, he admitted something important. The hallway security system had been partially upgraded 3 months earlier. Everyone knew about the main cameras. Nobody paid attention to the old backup system because most of it was disconnected. Most of it. One camera near the freight elevator was still recording automatically to a local archive drive nobody checked anymore. My heart started beating so hard it physically hurt. "Is it still there?" I asked. Luis hesitated too long, then nodded. 30 minutes later, we were in a storage room watching footage from a grainy black and white camera most people forgot existed. 11:41 p.m. The hallway outside records. A man wearing my coat walked toward the room. Head lowered, face hidden. Then something happened the main footage never showed. Ava stepped into frame. She handed him a keycard and kissed him. I stopped breathing. Literally. My chest locked completely. The footage continued. At 12:07 a.m., the fake me exited records again. Ava returned, took the coat, and both disappeared together toward the executive elevators. I remember grabbing the edge of the desk because suddenly the room felt unstable. Not because I was shocked she framed me, because in that exact moment, I realized she had probably been holding me while knowing this footage existed somewhere. That level of emotional control terrified me more than the crime itself. The investigation reopened within 48 hours. Once confronted with the backup footage, the rest collapsed quickly. The transfers led to offshore accounts connected to a shell company registered under the name of Ava's cousin. The man in my coat turned out to be a former cybersecurity contractor she had been secretly involved with for months. And the motive? Simple. Blackthorn was preparing massive layoffs after an upcoming merger. Ava found a way to steal millions and place the blame on someone whose access level made the story believable. Me. By the end of the week, charges against me were dropped. By the end of the month, Ava was arrested. Everyone expected me to feel victorious after that. I didn't. That's the part nobody tells you. Truth doesn't instantly repair psychological damage. People apologized, but differently than they accused me. Quietly, avoiding detail, like they wanted forgiveness without acknowledging what they had participated in. Some friendships never recovered. Neither did my relationship with my brother. Not fully. And Ava, I saw her only once after the arrest. Court hallway, orange prison uniform under a gray coat. She looked smaller somehow. Not weaker, just reduced. She saw me standing there and held eye contact for a few seconds. Then she smiled. Not lovingly, not mockingly, almost sadly, like she knew something irreversible had happened to both of us. And maybe she was right, because even now, years later, there's one thing I still can't fully understand. I know why she stole the money. I know why she framed me. What I still don't understand is how someone can hold you together emotionally while being the person tearing your life apart underneath it. That's the kind of betrayal that changes the way you see kindness forever. And sometimes I think the camera didn't just save my life. It saved what little ability I had left to trust my own mind.